Hi guys, it's Monica Blunder, makeup artist. Welcome to part 2 to the Matthew and Lewin makeup tutorial. Now in part 1, Matthew showed you how to do makeup or eye makeup on a deeper set eye. In this part, Matthew finishes off the makeup and he also gives some helpful tips and tricks on how to contour the face. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this type of video, we will have another guest makeup artist come on very soon. Again, don't forget to give the video some thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. And I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
So I'll show you how you kind of build the rest of the face around the eye. For now, I'm gonna move to cheeks and skin, and then we'll come back to the eye later and finish all the details off.
In part 1, Matthew showed you how to do an eye makeup look on a deeper set eye. He uses a mixture between cream and dry shadows. See now how he finishes off my makeup look by applying foundation and contouring my face. At the very end, he adds more drama to the eyes with one additional shadow.
I don't want to finish any one thing until I have most of the areas done. I find that you end up with a more balanced makeup. And the other advantage, and Trish McAvoy taught me this years ago, was do your eye makeup first, get creative, make your mess, then clean up, then start your skin. When you go from having just done eye makeup to then starting your skin.
Do you want to show them the Clé de Peau moisturizer you used?
This is a moisturizer that I am obsessed with.
And I'm obsessed with it now because he just used it on me. It's amazing.
It's called Emulsion Tendre, and it's a gentle, nourishing emulsion. It's meant as a nighttime emulsion, but I love it for the day because it keeps such hydration under makeup.
When he put it on, it just felt so like cooling, and it just felt so good on my skin. Like the immediate, I was like, "What is this product?"
You feel like a drink of water.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's not cheap. I'm sorry that we show you a few things which are a little bit pricey, but you know, we try to keep it low and high.
And that is a giant amount too.
It's a big bottle.
And so like I was just going to tell you, you could take, actually what I really want to show you.
So did you mix the,
For now, yeah. Say I just finished the eye makeup. So now what I'm going to do is take a bit of moisturizer on a makeup triangle, and I'm going to make sure, that I've cleaned any shadow that's fallen. And it also gives me a chance to clean up
and moisturize
under the eye.
Brilliant.
So I've now edged the shadowing I did. So now I'm going to take moisturizer.
It feels so nice on the skin, this moisturizer.
And we just put that moisturizer on. I'm going to take a little tiny bit of foundation. I'm going to start.
And he really just used 1 or 2 pumps, right? Or 1 pump.
Yeah. And use stippling motion. If you wipe, you tend to keep the makeup on the surface. If you stipple, you marry the foundation with the skin. And you also get a nice little circulation boost. Okay, now I'm going to stop here where I feel like I've given the skin a good coverage. And I'm going to put a little blush on. I'm really loving my Makeup Forever cream blushes these days. They come in a palette that they sent me. It was very nice. And so I am going to take a clean beauty blender. And I'm going to pick up this blush color here. So I've loaded it onto my brush. And what I'll do is I'll first stipple it onto my hand so I can further blend the product on the sponge. You're never sure how much you picked up with the cream, so you really want to pay attention to how you load your sponge. So I'm just going to spend a moment stippling it so I know that it's not too much product. And now with this blush, what I'm going to have Monica do, always smile when you apply your cream blush, okay? So I'm seeing the shape of her cheek. But remember the dotted line I told you to remember comes down the outer part of the eye, okay? That's your center point. You're really not going to come any further in than that imaginary dotted line. All right? So smile, find the apple, smile a little more, and now I'm going to stay right on that area. Keep smiling. When you smile, you apply it right where it needs to. Notice I'm not moving my arm very fast or very far. I'm staying basically in one area. A little more smile. Exaggerate. Yeah.
So you're really doing this before you're contouring the face?
This is your first step in contour.
Because most people, again, do it the other way around. They contour and then at the end put the blush on. But this is a very interesting
This is
way.
quicker. This is quicker. So that's why smiling is so beneficial when you do the process, because when you smile, you round out the exact part that you really want to colorize. So it does the work for you. Like if I have people go really big smiles, and literally you can just kind of go across the face this way. Now, remember I said makeup is always putting it on, taking it off? You can literally go back to your foundation sponge with whatever's left on the sponge, and you can smile, and you can clean your edges. It's just a tiny bit of foundation here. And that will, if there's any edges, anything went too far, by going in the same rhythmic motion on both sides of the face, you will perfectly clean that line up, and there'll be no seams to it. Then what I'll usually do is I'll come from the inside of the nose and up this way on the top edge of where you just applied. And because you're doing it all at once, you can go in a nice linear motion, and you've just cleaned perfectly the top edge of your cream blush. Look how nice that looks. Now we're going to come back in the end with one color up higher on the apple that's going to kind of give a lift. That's going to serve as more of your shaper color. Okay. Now we've got that first blush on. Now is a good time to put a bit of concealer under the eye. It seems like an odd time to do it, but this is a really good time to do it.
It's actually when I do the concealer too. I love doing it after the blush, because I see exactly how much I need.
And should you need a bit of correction, that's your moment.
And what concealer are you using?
This is Hourglass. This is my new one that I'm trying that I really love. I find that it has a really nice moisture to it. The shade we're using is called Warm, and it's creamy, it's very hydrating, and it has very nice pigment.
We just have to give Hourglass some love. I really have to say it's becoming one of my new favorite products. It's such a small line, and the lady's based in Los Angeles, right?
Yes, she is. And she's really, really visionary in the way she creates makeup. And her thought process is always to create makeup from the future, which I think is such a great way to go about the creative process.
So technologies are so spot on too. Like
everything.
The lip, those lip stains she makes as an example. Like
she makes
so
this
beautiful
lip oil that I really like too. It comes in a pump, and we might as well just put some on right now. Give me your finger. Try that. It's nice. It's a bit sticky at first, which is nice. I put it on my clients when I start a makeup. By the time it comes to put lip color on, you're nice and moisturized.
Oh, it felt beautiful.
Very nice.
And also, a lot of the products are paraben-free, fragrance-free, which, I'm a big believer in that as well. And a lot of actresses now they really want that kind of product.
They're becoming more and more demanding of that kind of a product.
Especially like clients like Jessica Alba I work with, they have a natural line themselves. So it's very important for them what they put on their face. So it's definitely something I look at these days.
And when you think about how many hours that they spend with really strong makeup on, then they're very aware of the importance that can play. I'm going to take a little bit of that concealer now, and without erasing what I did under the eye, I am just going to follow along the downward edge of the eye socket. Try not to put too much concealer on the side of the nose. There's a natural shadow that happens there that you want to keep. You don't want to erase. I'm loving this.
Thank you. I feel very honored to get my makeup done by the Matthew Van Leeuwen. Matthew is also really famous for, I think nobody does it better than him, is his contour. He's a master in contouring the face, and it's really a skill, and I just, you know, I admire that about your work so much, and hopefully today he's going to show us a few little tips and tricks on how he does that.
I have a couple good ideas that I can leave you with today, and who knows, maybe Monica will invite me back sometimes. And
he will come back.
We can do one just on contouring and shading and highlighting in a way that's believable. Not in a way that's like theatrical, but in a way, because really, like I said before, makeup is about making what's three-dimensional even more three-dimensional. So we're taking what's there and we're accentuating it. And so contour and shadow is right up there and important with that idea. And you know, you want to create more three-dimension to the face. And I will show you a couple great ways to do it today.
And I really feel like in the last couple of years, contouring has such a comeback in the makeup world too. Because I remember there were times the makeup was so natural and nobody ever talked about contouring. But now I feel like it has a big comeback.
Well, I don't really even think it ever went away. I just feel like we came a long way in technology, quicker than we did in technique. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it wasn't that long ago that we erased the face and painted a new one on. Mm-hmm. And that we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, like the Kevin Aqua days.
Yeah, and you know,
it's kind of sad I missed that.
Exactly. It was a really, really exciting, wonderful time in makeup. Today I'm going to use Armani Eyes to Kill mascara. It's a really great formula. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons I like it so much is for the brush. The brush, it's not too hard, but it allows for really good separation, and it's very easy. Like you'll see the difference in the soft bristle, how nice it grabs the lash and how easy it grabs. It's very quick too. So what I do usually when I'm doing is I roll my thumb on the lid, and the way you're holding your eye is perfect. And I really recommend that people spend the first run on the mascara is just wiggling back and forth at the base. Don't worry about the tips. Okay, so now we've done our eyes, we've done our brows, we've done our first pass of the cheek. I want to show you real quick, just you could leave it this way, it's really pretty. I'm going to show you another way to like use a second color and really bring the attention up a little bit higher on the cheek. So I really concentrated the first time, remember. We have our imaginary dotted line right here. So I kept the attention on the outer pillow of the cheek, always smiling the whole time. So there's your dotted line. There's your landing area right in here. Let's just really quick smile for me. Just go over that. Now we're going to take a slightly brighter color of blush. So for this, I'm going to use this Lilac-y Tone by Stila.
Stila makes, I think, one of the best cream blushes. I love the formulation.
The formula is great. The pigmenting, the way they blend, beautiful. This color is called Lilium. It's like a lilac tone. Lilacs are really, really, really pretty, color. And they work on almost everyone. But the trick is in little doses. So I'm just going to grab into it, just stipple it just a bit. And you see the color that is? It's rather bright. But a little bit of that will look amazing against her hazel eyes and the tones of her blonde. So again, I'm going to have her smile. Remember your dotted line. Remember that's your first. Now you're going to be a little higher and you're still going to be right on that dotted line. You're going to make a little circle up higher. You see where that feeling is? In the end, they'll look like the same color. You won't really see a lot of separation. But the color will work for you to create like this lift and this refreshing kind of colorization to the face. Go back to what's left on your foundation sponge. You don't have to put a new product, but just take what's left and just gently roll over the top edge of it. And that will just remove what needs to be removed and leave what needs to be left. So, you know, I put it on high and she's smiling and I'm stippling. Now I take a little of the foundation and blend over the top. It allows the tone of the color still to be where it needs to be, but it gives us that perfect blending. And, you know, it is actually, we've covered a lot of area on the face with blush because I've really shaded the whole lower part of the cheekbone. Now I've shaded the top, but if you blend the way I just showed you, it looks seamless, effortless, and very light. I'm loving how this looks. Take what's left on your blush sponge just as a final afterthought, and just maybe hit the chin a bit, hit the forehead. I like to kind of come down the center just a tiny bit with a hint of color, and I'll tell you why. If I come down the center, it's going to leave a brightness here in the temples. This is nice to keep bright. So, especially like when your hair comes over, it creates that dimension. The other thing I'll show you right now too, it's a little contour trick, is I'm going to create a little shadow here in the downward motion of her eyebrow. Now, the last thing I want to do, since we used all creams on the face, is I'm going to set it. But I haven't been using setting powder for a while now. I'm using Makeup Forever High Definition Pressed Powder. And this is a synthetic silicone. And I find that it sets the product amazing, but without creating any weight on the skin. All the luminosity is still there, but takes away anything that goes that step beyond.
And can we just really please, because I didn't know that this product actually is out, and they had a loose formula beforehand, and
the loose formula got a little bit of press because there were some moments where it really photographed on red carpets in a bad way, like really white, or if it
you could almost see the powder on the picture. So a lot of us makeup artists got really scared of this product and stopped using it. But now Matthew just showed me that they came out with the pressed version.
The pressed
because
version.
Because it's a beautiful product, the way how it sets the makeup.
It is.
So I'm really excited right now to see.
It's more control. You can't make a mistake with this one. And I like to use this kind of a brush. This brush is great because, and this is a Laura Mercier one.
But everyone makes that.
Everyone makes it. But I just like it because you can just stipple and press a little of that powder onto. It's so good the way the skin texture is left. It still has this really dewy, hydrated.
Because we want to keep that dewiness.
Yes, absolutely.
We don't want to powder it all away. What we just have created for the last hour. I mean, we want to keep that, especially for mature skin. I think it's so that what keeps you young, and that's what makes you look so much younger than having a totally powdered face.
It's so true. Real quick, I'm just going to add a little dimension and depth into the face contour-wise. So I set the foundation, I set the cream blush, so now I can use something with a little powder and it's going to slide around. If I hadn't put that little layer of the pressed powder, it might catch and drag and not blend as well. I'm going to just take a bit of this. This is a Too Faced pressed powder. It's a great contour shade. It's not yellow or orange. It's great for a lighter skin girl. This shade is called Chocolate Soleil. And
yeah, the Too Faced, they're really great bronzers. They do have shimmery products, but they also, this one is beautiful because it is matte.
I want to create a bit of shading here in this panel of the face, so it sits more flat as the hair comes over. This is one of my favorite makeup tricks.
And that's a great trick, what you're doing right now, bringing the same color into the eye makeup.
To the side of the eyes, yeah. It just connects
everything together.
And makes the eye look really big. And it kind of, if you do it right, it looks like nothing. You can't see it. So I went in with that color, and then I took a little bit on a brush and just connected. It's super easy, but it does this wonderful broadening of the eye area, and it really brings the eye up into that. And also the great thing about doing the makeup the way we did, this makeup's going to last all day. Like, we've done it in these nice micro layers, but it's really going to stick with you all day long. I'm just taking a bit of this pearly eyeshadow. This is called Filigree by Lancome. I can't live without it. I love finishing the inner corner of the eye with it, highlighting the brow with it. It's one of those perfect skin tones for beigey skin tone that just create that perfect glimmer of highlight. And it's just beautiful. It has a little bit of coverage, so the brightness actually lifts. And I like to put a little in that inner corner of the eye. Sometimes I'll just put a bit down the center of the nose. But right? I'm going to use a Makeup Forever pencil today. This is an aqua pencil, so it really stays on. This is called 5C, is the name of the color. It's like a good plummy mauve. Just going to have you grin like this. And the first thing I'm going to do is just fill a bit. Pretty.
They're very creamy. I love those pencils. I use them in my makeup kit as well. They're great.
We're going to use an hourglass color called Fable, and I'm going to layer that over the pencil, okay? The nice part is I still have a nice luminous edge on the top of her lip from the very first step when I used the eye cream and the aquarelle to create pearl. So now I'm just going over. I left just a hint of the lower edge on the pencil, just to define her lower lip a bit more. You may need to go back with your lip liner to define the top. It's up to you where you want to take it. But I always find that like a nude mouth with that kind of an eye is very nice. And let me also, just as a quick finish, show you, anytime you want like a quick change to something, I can take this Chanel eyeshadow in this really beautiful purple color. It's one of their new, and I can add accent to the eye right at the very end. Close your eye. I love color, and I think if you can find ways to do like one beautiful pop of color on the eye, it's always really fun, and this makes it super easy too. And look up. So pretty. When in doubt, go with a plum.
Love a plum.
You can't go wrong with a plum.
And we're done.
And we're done. There you have it.
Can't wait to see the finished product. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. My eye makeup, I have to say, this is going to be one of my new favorite looks. Beautiful.